Welcome back to Schedule T GMP of Indian System of Medicine Part 2. Last time we have seen concept of good manufacturing practices. Today we will go in details of basic principles of GMP. Basic principles of GMP. GMP principles are globally similar despite regional guidelines. Every country will have their own GMP guidelines, but overall principle or overall idea behind GMP is same. Focus remains on a patient safety and quality medicine. Processes must be defined, controlled and validated. We will take example to understand these terms. Documentation and trainings are essential to maintain the quality of the product. Continuous improvement encouraged in GMP guidelines. What is define and control process? Define means every step of the process is well justified, is known as a defined process. Control means the process parameters are controlled and validated so that any changes or any error into the process can be identified. Manufacturing steps must be clearly outlined to have a defined process. Critical processes require validation. In earlier lecture, I have taken example of asava or arista preparation. The addition of excessive alcohol can change the quality of the product by extracting more alcohol soluble components that may have a toxic effect onto the patient. Hence, such critical quality attributes need to be evaluated on every level. Define limits prevent errors and variability. As in the ASVA, it is defined that 12% weight by volume alcohol content is the maximum allowable content. Hence, it cannot override its quality. Control ensure compliance with standards and consistency enhances product reliability. This is very important to understand that consistent in the quality can give the trust to the patient and make the product more reliable. Written procedures and instructions. In the health profession, it is mandatory to document every step which being followed. SOPs is the unavoidable part of the pharmaceutical industry. Written procedures and instructions shows a good GMP follow-up. Procedure must be clearly written and should be unambiguous. The words or phrases used to describe the procedure should be clearly understandable to the operators or workers. Language should be understandable to the operators. Many of the time, the small scale industries are situated in rural areas. Sometimes even the city areas where the large scale industry are being situated also shows the good amount of population from underprivileged or from the less educated workforce people, where it need to be describe the procedure in the vernacular language or local language, so that the workers or the operators who are using that procedure should understand the meaning of every steps involved in it. SOP guide daily operations. The operations starting from entering into the premises till the leaving the premises, and all the operation into the product formulation should be well documented in the form of a SOP. For example, in a tablet or capsule filling area, a person who is entering should wear all the preventive measures including hand gloves, shoe covers, eye gears and head gears, so that the safety of the product as well as the safety of the worker will be maintained. Written instructions reduce human error. It has been seen that if the written instructions are put onto the different location inside the plant, then they are being followed much efficiently than non-written instruction. Compliance improves manufacturing discipline. The discipline is mandatory. Discipline brings a significant impact in the quality of the final product. Hence, the discipline into the workers and operators need to be maintained so that it can have a impact on the final product quality as well. To get the discipline in the workers and operators, the regular training is important. Operator must be trained for assigned task. If a particular operator's task is to operate the tableting unit or tableting machine, then that tableting machine, how it works, what is the principle behind that tableting machine, which are the critical points for the tableting, which are the parameters need to be evaluated during the in process, all that training need to be given to the operator, so that it will not get skipped from the quality angle. Training includes GMP awareness and hygiene. As I mentioned, most of the workers and laborers are from the rural area. They need to be trained for the GMP requirements. They may not be aware about the GMP role or the requirements for the product quality. Hence, a training should include the guidelines of GMP by which they will understand what is the requirements and how it can have the final impact on the product quality. GMP also talk about the hygiene of operators and laborers, because the hygiene will have a direct impact onto the product quality. If any worker or laborer is having or carrying a particular infection, then such infection can get percolated in the final product, and that can deteriorate the quality of final product. Hence, hygiene is very much important from the GMP point of view, hygiene of the workers and laborers. A simple example of hygiene maintenance is, after using lavatory, the washing of hands should be made mandatory. Without that, the labor should not allow to enter into the premises. This can bring a discipline as well as a good quality. Records of training should be maintained. When and as required, the training need to be provided to the workers and need to be recorded and documented. That shows how many times the training being done to the workers and laborers and how it was have a impact on the quality of the product. Skilled staff ensure consistent quality. Many of the operations in the herbal industry also need a skilled staff to maintain or to use the instrument. These instruments many times also operated with the digital interfaces. Hence, skilled staff to use this instrument is needed. That is why the staff, whenever they appointing, should obey the guidelines of a qualification, so that there will be no ambiguity in following the procedures. Continuous training updated and competency of the labor need to be evaluated on daily basis. Manufacturing records. Records prove adherence to defined procedures. Manual or electronic records are now acceptable, hence they need to be maintained with integrity. They capture quantities, tests and observation in such records. Record enable batch traceability as well as it support investigations in future. Deviation and investigations. Deviation from procedure must be documented. Root cause analysis identify reasons and that can prevent the similar deviation in the future. Corrective actions prevent the reoccurrences. Investigation protect product quality as well as regulatory compliance is getting strengthened because of the such investigations. Retention of records. Records enable complete batch history tracing. Batch when got prepared, before that when it got components weighed, when got added, who did the operations, which date, what time, all the details are maintained in those batch records. Storage should be accessible and secure, so that when needed they can be easily get traced back and can produce to the authority. Retention period aligns with the expiry or regulations. Generally, expiry of the product is maintained as retention period of such documents, but if any regulations prescribe the period for any particular formulation, then that need to be followed to maintain the documents. Facilitates recalls if necessary. That decision relies with the good documentation, and it also enhances the accountability of the operations. Accountability has a significance in the final quality of the product, as when and who have done particular operation can be traced back with the documentation. In next few slides, we will see what is the role of a inspector in adherence to the regulation. Inspector oversees a compliance under Drug and Cosmetics Act. Inspections ensure adherence to the GMP at different levels. Regulatory control protect public health, and inspector act as a tool in the protection procedure. A legal authority supports enforcement through the drug inspector. Hence, the role of a drug inspector is very much significant in regulation of ASU medicine. Inspectors may examine manufacturing unit as and when needed. Sometimes such inspections are periodic and sometimes they appear as they are instructed. Some inspection appearances are also due to some incompliance into the regulations. Quality control and testing facilities are assessed. These facilities are main heart of the production line. The product quality is many times being altered in these processes. Hence, QC labs and the testing labs are need to be evaluated and inspected properly. Compliance with a Schedule T is verified. For that, every step where the GMP guidelines being followed need to be inspected. Regular inspection ensure continuous adherence. Many of the pharmaceutical industry do have internal GMP inspections which carry a good amount of significance to maintain the product quality. Deficiency are documented for correction in such inspection, and the preventive action is being documented and implemented through the SOPs. Inspection of a cell premises. Inspector may visit cells and storage location. The manufacturing and distribution of the product is not the last step by the manufacturer. Manufacturer also need to be understand that product when it gets sold out, that will be the end of the product cycle. Hence, till the product is on the shelf, it is liable to maintain the quality of that product. Hence, storage condition need to be maintained on shelf. Therefore, inspector generally visit the cells and the storage location to get the samples checked, ensures that drugs are sold and stored appropriately. They also see to it that they prevent the distribution of substandard drugs, strengthen the supply chain integrity, and finally, they enhance the consumer safety. During this inspection, the sampling procedure which being followed have a significance in the process. Samples may be taken during the manufacture or cell premises inspection. Such sampling is ensure quality verification. Many times the manufacturers also do a random sampling from the cells premises to ensure the quality of the product on shelf as well. Proper procedures prevent the contamination, and hence the SOP for sampling also need to be formulated. Samples support regulatory testing and it results in guide enforcement actions for better quality products. Finally, inspector have an authority to search and seize the products which are of a substandard quality. Inspectors may search person or premises and gather the sample for the testing. The inspectors do have authority to inspect the vehicle in which the products are being transferred or distributed to the different stores. Action is taken when offences are suspected. Vehicles carrying illegal drugs may be stopped and can be seized as per the powers given by the authority. Seizures prevent further distribution of such product, and sometimes it can also bring a complete ban on manufacturing of any further product from the manufacturer. Legal authority ensures compliances which adheres to the GMP guidelines. Thank you.